I'm just going to test the audio because I'm really trying to check how the audio is. Let's really try to check how the audio is. That's good. Let's really try to check how the audio is. That's good. Let's really try to check how the audio is. Okay. That's good. So I just got into the live just to check on certain enhancements in this case. I'm just checking how the audio is and how StreamYard it's working, which seems completely fine, which is good. So I'm just going to stay for a while and see if someone wants to catch me live and wants to talk about something, or if it's something in Spanish, quizás quieren hablar en español. I really like StreamYard. I really think that it's a good tool. I'm just going to be testing it at a certain point. I really do like it. That's good. That's even better. Okay. So what if I want to? Okay, this is upgrading it. Background. Background. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. This is a new brand. I don't like the overlay, it's too much. Why the background? There isn't anything to put in the background, so and that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so what I'm doing at the moment, it's just doing some editing, and I'm really need to say something about that because I was ranting yesterday, and I definitely need to do some ranting for that. Maybe someone that might be watching the live later on can tell me what kind of editing program they use. Because let me tell you, I have been using Camtasia for quite a while. So I do enjoy how professional the tool is. It helps me a lot. Maybe because I don't have everything that I need. Maybe I need a better computer just to make it a little bit more quick when I have to fix things, or when I try to, I don't know, when I try to render the video that it's already been edited and been done for, it takes like an hour. If it's like a really long video, like 30 minutes, it will take me more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it's way too much. I'm guessing that it's because of my computer. As I said, it's a really old one. So I have had it, I think I have had it since 2012. So it's an old laptop, but still working fine. Have some issues with the touchpad. So it's just giving me a hard time just to edit things, and I haven't got any time to get a mouse, like I don't know, maybe Bluetooth one, just to be able to work a little bit faster. So I just have another type of priorities to spend the money. I'm so sorry about that. So if someone catches this live and gets into this part, just to say, hey, what kind of application you are using? What kind of application you are using when you want to edit a video? If you're a YouTuber, or if you have already been like, I don't know, working with maybe kind of different kinds of videos in social media. I'd like to know. I also have Filmora. I haven't I haven't installed it. I was definitely wanted to install it, but I just decided not to. Honest, because I I think that I should just take the advantage of Camtasia and I don't know, see how this works. But in the end, if someone really suggests me like it's going to work out, because I have had certain suggestions. For instance, if I only have the audio instead of just having the video, I just have the audio and I want to just edit it, then I can use Audition or Audacity. Audacity. Or, I don't want to see Audacity because I don't think it's. I don't remember exactly the name. I think it's that, but I do want to find a good tool to be able to edit, not to have that much of a hassle, just to try and I don't know, make it better. I really wanted to make it better in less time. That's the thing. I'm really looking forward into that. I'm really looking forward into that. But anyways, I'm just going to stay for a little while. Right now, as I said, I am editing one of the videos, one of the old videos that I have in Camtasia. I'm trying to work, like I'm trying to like take the spaces, and I haven't even like heard the audio, and I know that I have to modify it, and I have to take the the spaces, and the breathes every time that you talk, and it's something that I don't necessarily need to take when you're in lives, or when you actually say, hey, I'm not going to edit anything. I Right now I'm just trying to get this done, and I think I tested already how StreamYard is. I like the manners. I like the manners. It just came naturally, to be honest. Came naturally. So I was saying, if you have any suggestions about what kind of editing tool you use, if you do live streams, or you create videos for YouTube or social media, then be my guest if you have any suggestions. I am working with Camtasia at the moment. I really enjoy the tool, but I don't know. I think I would rather go with something that it's less um I don't know, maybe less professional, and it doesn't take a lot of memory, which gets a lot of it. Gets a lot of it. So my computer is already old. I know, I need to change it, but it will take some time. It will definitely take some time. So that's what I'm doing right now. If there is any topic that anyone that catches this live stream want to talk about, I'm just doing some cuts here and cuts there on an old video that I have, that I had to supposedly to be uploading. I have been working on this a while, and I think I'm still going to be working with this for a while, even though these are old news, to be honest. I mean, I definitely want to work on the new topics. And that's something that I have been saying in the last video, and I think I have to emphasize it. I don't want to edit that much. I really don't want to be editing that much. But that's the only way to know that it's something different, that it's just, hey, hi, Nicholas. Yes, I do have StreamYard. Thank you for the suggestion. I got it. I know I have to fix the camera. It's coming. But at least I have StreamYard. I am using it with my microphone, with my SF666 condenser microphone. So I don't know if it's better. I mean, the audio for the last live stream was terrible. So That's why I have like this old headphones that I'm using always. So I think I'm just going to keep on this and using my microphone. I think it's better. So how is everything? I'm just trying to like check this out. It's quite new for me, but I think I'm getting the gist of this. Okay, so I have to do this like an invite and copy this and okay, can I post it here like this? Right, like this? That's how it is, right? This is where it says invite. Okay, so I'm going to show it. That's how it is. Looks nice. I like this. I don't know what would be the difference in between StreamYard and Streamlabs. So I have that, right? That's how it is. Right?
There we go. Hey.
And hello. Hi. Good. Can you listen to me? I mean,
I can hear you. Yeah.
The audio is okay.
The audio's not good. It sounds a little bit like I'm listening to you through a tube or something, but I can understand you.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know if it's the microphone because I'm putting it like far away from me. I don't know if it's this microphone that I'm using or if the one that I have here.
I don't know too much about. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you think it might be the headphone mic that's working?
Yeah, the thing is that I have the headphones, and these headphones had also a microphone in it.
Yeah.
But I'm using and the microphone that I have, and that's when I do in all my videos with. So I had it far away from me. So now I'm putting it close. I don't know if it's better.
I think it's the other mic that is being read right now because it's not changing at all when you move it closer or further away. So that's probably why it's so low quality.
Yeah. Okay. I will have to get a new headphones then.
It might be something to do with the options in StreamYard here.
I was talking on,
if you go down to the bottom where there's the little gear and it says cam mic and you click that, there's an audio option, and then for mic there should be a few different choices.
Yeah, I chose the external microphone. So I'm not choosing the internal one.
Okay, I'm thinking that's a good thing. Yeah, but like, do you have your, like, does it say the name of your nice?
No, it just said that it's a codec, so it doesn't say anything else.
Because I'm using
I still need.
I'm using a Snowball, and StreamYard like mentions, it says microphone blue Snowball. It even says the product number on it. And so I'm thinking that maybe it's not picking up your real mic.
It might be because it just said default communications, the internal mic, and the external microphone. That's the only one. So I had communications just now. So.
Oh, now you're completely muted.
I have to take like the internal microphone now.
Oh, okay. Maybe it makes you do that because you're using those headphones. I don't know. To test that, you could unplug the headphones and then open the gear option.
Yeah. The thing is that I don't want to like scare anyone because they will be like, oh, out, but wait, let me take this out. Okay, let's see.
I thought usually it was the Ecuadorians giving tech support to the Canadians, not the other way around. I hear nothing.
No, in here. Okay.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, but I think I will have to just check this later. Maybe I don't have the codec. Maybe I don't have the correct codec for this microphone, and I'm using the default one that is in the computer, and that's why it's not recognizing it. Because I'm usually doing my videos with my cell phone, not with my computer. So maybe that's why it's not being recognized.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. This is fine in the meantime. I can definitely talk to you.
No. Mm-mm. Yes, for now. I mean, I'm trying. I remember one of the last lives that someone came in and said, "You want to be famous? You want to get that camera all foggy and whatever thing that he said." I'm like, no, I actually don't want to be famous, but I want to do something good. Like I want to present something nice, not like this.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but it's one step at a time for now.
You know, one thing that is kind of unique for you that I think a lot of people would be interested in is seeing Ecuador. You could show people like videos of Ecuador. I haven't really watched any of your videos. I think you've talked a little bit about YouTube drama and stuff. I'm not too interested in that,
Yeah.
but you know, I bet you Ecuador is a beautiful country and
It
very
is.
unique in a lot of ways.
It is. It is. I could do a compilation of images that I have for all my trips here. I can also do some trips around downtown because I am, let's say, on the coastline. So we have different regions. So we have the coastline, we have the highlands, we have where the Amazon is, and where the Galapagos is. So we have different climates. We have it's not that close, but it's really beautiful.
So you'll have to forgive me. I'm a foolish man that lives in the snow. When you say the Amazon, do you mean like the jungle or the river or both?
The jungle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the jungle.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I went closer. Let's say we have like a border, which is a river, and you can see the difference in between that is like the city is just next to the river, and then crossing the river you have like jungle. It's completely full of vegetation and trees and animals, and obviously you have like your let's say warning, like if you cross the bridge you're going to the jungle. It's up to you if you're not going with anyone that knows the place.
Now, when you say
Yes.
warning, do you mean like a warning from gorillas? Is that what you mean?
Not only warnings for gorillas. You know, you have snakes and scorpions and spiders
I didn't mean the animal gorillas. I'm thinking crime. I don't know what Ecuador is like, but I'm thinking the jungle is probably a dangerous place.
I think it's dangerous going around the city nowadays.
Oh, okay.
But it's because of all of this problem with Venezuela. I mean, since the president there, it's just like it's taken the country into chaos. everyone is being getting out of the country, and they're coming to Colombia, they're coming to Ecuador, to Peru, and to every single part of Latin America. The problem is that the people that are coming out of Venezuela are the ones that are poor. They want money, and mostly all of them knows how to go and steal from people, and
Oh, that's rough.
yeah, yeah. The last news that I was hearing maybe yesterday, it was a lady of 68 years that was shot dead um, at the Highlands, our capital city. It was like maybe midday. She was just walking around next to a mall, and she was like just walking around with her cell phone, and this Venezuelan guy, I think it was 19 years old, just came in with a gun, and she didn't give her cell phone, of course, and then he shot her to death.
My gosh.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's the problem. It's like you have this kind of news, but you also have the beauty of the country. So it's not that every time you have this kind of thing, you know?
Right, right. I'm
Yeah.
thinking the sort of person that would shoot somebody for a cell phone. I'm thinking he probably thought she was being the rude person there, right? Like
Yeah.
he probably felt like he had a right to her property or something, and that, why did you make me shoot you?
I mean, they don't know anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
they come here just, it's because they have been entitled in their own country to
Hmm.
receive things from the government. And that's the problem with all of this. Like, left wing parties that are into the government, and they think that they can give everything to the people, and they just make them being lazy. They just
Right.
stay at home because they want to receive money, because they're giving birth to children just because. And if they're not working, they're going to receive money just because. So that's not how the thing here is. So people are working, people are doing things, just normal stuff. But if you're seeing Venezuelans, you're staying, I mean, you're walking around, you're seeing people that they have their both hands, they have their both feet, they can go up, they can just start asking for jobs here, but they just
Hmm.
decided to sit down
Hmm.
on the street asking for money.
Right. Right.
So that's even worse. Like, we are, and we're in fear. Like, if you're not going to give them money, what's going to happen? Maybe they're going to take out a gun and they're going to just shoot you.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Yeah, I know in my country there's a similar sort of community of people that get free money from the government, and it makes them lazy, and they ask for money from people on the
Uh-huh.
street, and people are trying to be friendly and helpful, and often give them money, but when they don't give them money, sometimes they get threatened or something like that, and
Exactly.
and harassed. Yeah, and I don't think things are nearly as bad here as they are there, but it's really sad, and it would be nice if you could just give people money to solve that. But honestly, if you give generation after generation a small amount of money, and you don't teach them how to earn or educate,
Exactly.
like, or produce, you're going to have so much substance abuse and mental illness, because that's just a boring life, and it's not satisfying. So I
The
think
thing
you're
is
just
that
go
the
ahead.
thing is that they are used to like put the hand like this and saying, "Hey, I want money," and you're giving them that. But in our case, for instance, these guys or these people are coming from Venezuela. They have like this. For me, it's like a mafia because they are renting children. They're renting children from the people that are poor here. They're taking their kids and claiming them as their own, walking around in a really hot environment, because sometimes you have a really bad weather here, maybe 35, 30, 36 degrees, and they're just walking with children, 2 years, 1 year old, in their hands. asking for money.
Right. I've heard of that too. Yeah.
So that breaks your heart. Like, you want to take the kids from them.
Yeah.
Like, go and get a job and take your children somewhere to be taken care of if they are their own children.
Right.
Else, yes, it's terrible. That that really breaks your heart, to be honest. Like, I wish I could help them. I wish I could just like say, hey, I can give you a job, but we cannot do much. There are too many.
And I think a lot of them are too broken. I think a lot of people have never seen a productive working life, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have seen people work for a while and get taken advantage of or hurt. But yeah.
I think they're used to living like that. So that's why they don't even care about working, because they just ask for money, and everyone is just giving them for pity, and that's why they're just doing the same thing.
Right, but I think a big part of that is that they don't understand how to succeed. Like, I don't think it's just that they're not lazy. I think it's that they don't, like, because no matter how lazy you are, I don't think you're going to go on the street and beg for money. I think you're going to find a job that's really easy, right? There's something.
Yes, and that was happening. That was happening when they came here. We don't tend to close ourselves to people that are coming here that are searching for a job. The problem is that we were listening to more type of crimes involving Venezuelans, and we were hearing about people lying, like taking advantage of Ecuadorians that had give them like a job, and they just stole from them. So that's why people are just having all of this mentality of don't hire Venezuelans now because we are scared from you guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I mean, they will be hiring, I mean, maybe cleaning dishes or being waitresses or cleaning, I don't know, anything, like in different businesses. But they paid in a different way. So which is bad.
So what do you think it's going to take to turn things around in Venezuela?
Well, the president that it's now, he needs to be out of Venezuela.
That's Maduro, is that right?
Yes, that's Maduro. Yes, and all of the people are from the left wing, because there are a lot of people that are getting benefits from Maduro, and that's why these people are not moving from the government. So they are not going to move. They are not going to just get out of of what position they have there in the government. And Guaido right now, I think it's in the United States. I don't know what he is planning, because there is another type of plan right now. I don't know if he's going to talk to Trump about it, because I think he's going to go to the White House maybe tomorrow or in the next couple of days, just to talk about what to do in Venezuela. I don't have any idea what's going on or what's going to happen, but I think that they need a change, like a drastic change. Right now, their own money are not. I mean, if you ask anyone in Venezuela how much they have to pay for a chicken, it's like millions of bolivares, millions, and it's only like $6. In here in Ecuador, we have, I mean, the current currency is the dollar. So that's why Venezuelans are coming here. They are working and they're sending money back to Venezuela.
Oh,
So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
yes, so let's say you have a minimum wage of 400, which is actually the minimum salary that you can get here. $400 to be sent there only. I think it's like maybe $60 or $50. But 350 is enough, you know? And a real hard worker Venezuelan will have to work like in two jobs. I mean, I can just move on from the bad Venezuelans and talk about the good ones because I know
I bet.
that, yeah, I have some friends that are working here that are really hardworking. They're earning good amount of money, and they're just like transferring all of the money that they have here over there, and they have done really nice and productive businesses. But that's how it is, right? So it's just a good set of people and a bad set of people. All of them are going to come. So that's why I
Sure.
shouldn't
Yeah.
I shouldn't I shouldn't be saying that the country is a bad country right now. We have a little bit extra crime that you need to take care of.
I was watching an interview, and they were talking about North Korea, and
Mm,
they were talking about during the first starvation that happened there, the first famine. The people that really believed in the country died first, because it was all the people that survived were the people that saved some food for themselves and
hmm.
broke the law in order to stay alive. Whereas all the really faithful people held out and waited for the government to save them.
Well, well, in this case, I think no one will ever just believe the government. And they even have like a rumor that all of the bad people that are coming from Venezuela, it's because they opened the gates from the maximum state prison, I think, over there. So they just like open the doors, like leave the country. And that's why all of those people, all of those bad people are just gathering around in different countries.
Is that possibly true that they opened the prisons?
Well, that's a rumor.
Oh, okay.
That's a rumor. And right now, Peru is sending back around 123 people that had been involved into different robberies or stealing or killing people. They're sending them back to Venezuela. So if there are news again that they are coming back to Peru and they're doing the same things, then we have the answer.
Do you have the answer? What's the answer then?
Yes, exactly. So, and that's the thing that they have to come through Colombia and then through here and then going to Peru. So they are doing struggles in Colombia, they're doing struggles in Ecuador to stay in Peru.
Why do they choose to go to Peru?
Because even though it's far away from where they are at the moment, it's a better place to be. I think it's like less inflation. Things are cheaper. Um, and I'm guessing that you can hide better. I'm guessing.
Interesting.
Mm-mm. But it's sad. I mean, it's sad what is going on. But we cannot do anything. I mean, the only thing that we can do is just pray that they decided to go back to Venezuela and take out that kind of garbage that they have as a government and bring a new one.
Yeah, for me living in Canada, me and the generations before me have been so lucky to have the States because they just keep everything stable around us. We haven't had to have a really strong military or anything like that.
Yeah,
We don't have to worry about, uh, the country next to us falling apart and the prisoners being released into our country.
Exactly. I mean, you do have the states because when the whole Mexico thing was just coming in to the United States, you wouldn't even feel anything. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
United
exactly.
States just held all of that.
I have met immigrants from Central and South America and Mexico um, that have come through the states, but it's rare.
Yeah. I mean, I think to immigrate to Canada, you definitely, first of all, you definitely need to be aware of the cold.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the second thing is that you definitely need to know what to do there. Because if you don't know what to do, then you're going to be homeless. That's it. I mean, you cannot go just like knocking on the door and asking for a job, I'm guessing, if you don't have any experience at all.
It depends on what kind of job you're trying to get. You know, if you're trying to get something in computer programming, probably not. But if you're just trying to, work helping out by sweeping up or something like that, I know a number of different refugees that have come to Canada, and they work at the churches and schools as just janitorial work. And that's not
Mm-hmm.
what they did in their home countries, but they're happy for the work just because they can get some money and they can live here for a while.
Yeah, I think you have the minimum wage by hour is like 15 Canadian dollars, right?
I don't know what it is. That sounds high.
I was like reading because I have all of this paperwork that I have to do for the visa, so I have been like trying to get all of that information as well.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It says here $11, 11.06, and that's Canadian, so that's less than American.
Mm. I don't know where do I find that. I'm just going to search again because it says like
Oh, it
15.
varies. It varies according to province. It looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Maybe I just searched for the province and the province was saying it was 15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like in 2018 the highest one was for $14 an hour, and that was Ontario. So maybe Ontario. But I
Maybe.
will warn you that uh, like if you're living in a larger city or something in Canada, it's the living expenses are going to be higher, of course.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course, of course. Yeah. I mean, this is not a process that will take me 1 month. It's at least a couple of years. So I still need to get all of the information, all of the paperwork. I need to get all of my degrees being checked on in different places there in Canada and try to get them to be valid so I can apply to computer programming, which is my main degree.
Well,
So
yeah, yeah. Good luck. Your English is good, so that's going to help. I know that we've got a lot of Chinese coming into the country that have similar training, and a lot of Indians as well.
yeah,
So you've got some competition there, but yeah, good luck.
yeah, hopefully for the best. I'm still having some. I still have some time left just to get it better. I mean, the English and all of my paperwork, and if that's okay and everything passes, then I might be going there in a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. I think your English is good enough, or just about good enough, if not good enough yet. Um,
Yeah.
and I think the better that you do, the more points you get. I don't know exactly how the immigration system works here. Um, Actually, I
Yeah.
could probably ask. I'm going to be running a program in a couple weeks that is training people for a citizenship test for Canada.
Uh
So
huh.
they're going to know a lot more about immigration than I do. I could ask them in terms of language, how that helps and things. If you don't know, I don't know if you do. Maybe you could tell
I
me.
mean, I'm doing a consultant. I mean, I'm asking for a consultant here, so they are taking care of all of the paperwork. They're giving me all of this like
Good.
brochures and web pages, and I need to take the IELTS, and I need to get my information down, and I need to fill up lots of papers, blah 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 blah. So that's why I say it's like a long process.
Right, right.
Yeah, because everything that you get is like everything has to be like certified, and you have to go here, and then you have to get this test done, and then you have to go all the paperwork, and after that then you can apply for the visa, and then you will get into this pool of contestants, and the Canadian government will be answering in, I think it's around 12 months. So as soon as you get your papers, then that's ready to go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that have those immigration consultants, and they seem to be very useful.
Yeah, they are, but they are always saying, well, that this has to do with the Canadian government. It's not that we are telling you that you are not going or that you are going. So it's quite useful to have something like ground, like on Earth, like just doing things that it's not the best offering for you. It's not that, oh yeah, you're going to go there, you're going to get the best job and the best places to go, blah blah blah. So that's what I like.
Okay. Yeah. One thing that people have told me is that they find it easier to get a better grade in their English tests, like IELTS, in their home country than they do in Canada. So even though your English probably will improve after you've been here for a little bit, it'll probably be easier to get a better grade in your home country.
Oh, of course, of course. That's why, I mean, I wouldn't be able to move. I mean, I need to get all of the paperwork done.
Okay,
And
well, I'm an English tutor, so I work with a lot of people that come into the country and then want to improve their English for a test. And that's why I know that they have a harder time doing well here, because instructors from other countries are not used to your accent, so they'll notice mistakes and changes a lot more easily and readily. Whereas somebody from Ecuador, they might hear it 50 times a day, and they might just not hear it when you say it, and then you don't get marked off.
But you still, well, the place that I have to go, it's a computer-based one, so.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think that will work in my case.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if the instructors will be like the evaluators will be local or not.
What I know is that the Canadian government has already stated that those places are like the official ones to go.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm guessing that they have people are specialized to listening to specifics in their tests. So
that's right. It's just that IELTS, I don't know about the online process, but IELTS is conducted in countries all over the world. And
yeah,
I've spoken to people that have taken the test in one country and then moved to another country and taken the test again and gotten worse because, and their explanation for it is this.
Yeah, of course. It's because I definitely don't have the accent, so I might be pronouncing something different. So.
Yeah, exactly, and that accent is going to be easier for me to hear than from somebody from Ecuador to hear.
Exactly. But I mean, if they have approved that to be an official one, I mean, that's the thing. If you we have so much to take from our own people. I mean, we should be learning more English, more French, more German, like different kind of languages, but we just stayed with the Spanish. And when they want to learn English, they're starting to learn like in an older age. And they don't sound as good, or they don't sound as fluid. It's not as good as fluid. So they will sound really robotic. They will sound like they are definitely not from the not from the place that they're applying to. And I think that's when they have their downfall, and that's why they don't pass.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and take that advantage on what I have, because I have learned English since I was really young. So I learned since I was 5. So
Yep. Yeah. I'm so used to people with foreign accents. I could have guessed that. Yeah, I could have told you that when you'd started learning, because depending on when you start learning a language in your life, it affects how well you can speak it.
especially the accent, I think.
Yeah.
Especially the accent. That's important. So you don't sound exactly an Ecuadorian, but you sound like an Ecuadorian that has a second language. But I think I have been losing my fluency because I have been speaking to Chinese guys and to Hindu, and because we are in a project, in a really big project at work, so Chinese people are not specialized in English.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of Chinese students over the years.
Yeah. So if you're not fluent with the English, I mean, if you're not a native one, then you're going to be like talking like this, like, I need you to understand, my friend. Do you understand? I was talking to a Chinese guy today like that. I am working for you. Okay, my friend. Okay, thank you. Oh my God. So I think that's why sometimes it's just like I'm trying to remember my English, but I just remember the way that I have to talk to the Chinese. So I need them to leave. I need them to leave. I'm just going to get my poor fluency in English just to get a little bit better. Else it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to talk to them, and it's fun to be able to. You know what happens? Like in my job, the only person that is fluent in English is me. Right? We have different. The only person that is fluent in English, it's me.
When you're a child, or
no, right now at work. I'm working.
Okay, gotcha.
So the only person that is fluent in my job right now at work,
okay,
it's me.
Okay.
And the other people that are around, they're old and they know about English. They speak the language, but it's not as fluent. So sometimes I am asked to be as a translator, like a live translator, or I have to like being in conference with people that are from the United States or from the United Kingdom for different projects. And that's the main problem, that you get all of this mixture of accents. And if you ask me, that's why I think I've been losing my vocabulary as well.
That does make sense, yeah.
Yeah. It's really sad.
When you're a native speaker, you have a special advantage, especially if you have experience with different accents, because it's so much easier to understand people with an accent, even if you haven't heard it before, because it's a variation of the main language, right?
Exactly.
But for people from different backgrounds to understand each other, they may each have a strong accent, but they can't understand each other because they're not used to that strong accent or they may even have a mild accent, but they're not used to the other accent, like the Indian and the Chinese. I don't understand what you're saying. I speak English perfectly fine. Why can't you?
Oh wow! Don't! Oh my God! Don't let me start with a Hindu. That's the Indian people. They're just like, I have been talking to you like this.
Yep.
and I need you to understand this.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really do like the culture, and I really and I'm not being sarcastic, and I really enjoy talking to them. But sometimes it's difficult to understand.
Yeah, yeah, and I've found that I've had Indian students as well, and I found that in general Indians seem to think that they speak better English than they do. I don't know if you've
Okay,
noticed that as well.
really?
Have you ever noticed that with your Hindu friend? I'm guessing your Hindu friend's from India.
I mean, they're from the project, but they haven't like. I mean, they speak English, but they're not saying that they're the best. I mean, they have different dialects, or they have different languages in between their um in the Indian culture, I think.
Right.
Uh-huh. So it's not exactly that they have a different accent. They have different languages. So
Right,
so
right.
they
Amongst the Indians, yeah, there's Hindi and there's English, but which are two national languages. But amongst the different provinces, yeah, there's something like
yeah, they have like the
hundreds of
native.
languages, I think. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a few major
Yeah.
ones. So if you know a few of the major ones, you can communicate with a lot of people in India with something other than Hindi and English. But yeah. But okay, so
Exactly.
that's not your experience with your friend at work, but yeah, in my experience, I've met a lot of Indians that felt like they spoke better English than they did. So when someone
Mm-hmm.
else didn't understand them, they were frustrated with that person rather than, somebody else might think that they speak worse English than they do. And so when someone doesn't understand them, they're like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I speak such terrible English." And it's like, "No, you're speaking fine. I didn't understand because of my fault, right?"
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I'm guessing that it doesn't happen here because we are the client and they are the ones that are providing the solution of the project. So
Oh, okay, okay.
they cannot treat us bad.
Right, that makes sense.
So yes, that's why they need to make them to be understandable to us. Like even if they have to find a translator just to talk to us. Mm-mm, that's how it is. So I think that's why we're not having that kind of problem.
It's always nice when the people are working for you.
Yes, exactly. It's like okay, I need to compromise this project, and I need to like show you this, but it's not because of me, but it's because of you. So don't worry about it. If you don't understand the language, then I'll find the means, and then I will find anything just to make you understand. So, and I think that has been like the main issue for us because we don't have the project that we wanted. So I'm guessing that in between the translation, in between Spanish and in English and to the Chinese, and then back to the English and to the Hindu and blah blah blah, there were gaps. So that's the only thing that I can say because there are lots of terrible things going on that needs to be fixed.
That's
But
rough.
anyways,
And they can't go
mm-mm.
home until they're done.
Yeah, and we do have like a bunch of Chinese guys coming from China. We have one of the, I mean the we have different rooms that we are gathering Chinese, and we are also working there with them. There is one of the Chinese that are coming back that it's from the ground zero, and he's not coming. So I think from all of like the 30 or 40 people that have to come from China, maybe just a couple are not coming back because they're from Wuhan. Wuhan, I think, is the ground
That sounds
zero.
right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. So the only way to communicate is by WeChat because they don't use WhatsApp. So we're just blaming them. We're just joking, of course, but we're just saying, hey, why you keep on eating rats? You're eating rats. That's why rats and bats. That's why we're getting all sick. It's because of you, just your exotic tastes. So
I I
stop
had
eating that.
I had a Chinese friend that was really funny, and he said, "We Chinese eat everything except humans because they're too hard to catch."
Good, because they have that slogan because they're saying everything that crawls and everything that swims and everything that flies that is not a human, is edible. So
Right, right.
yes, so that's scary. That's scary. Like I wouldn't think about eating a tarantula or snake or a rat.
I wouldn't eat them probably just because they're gross, though. If I thought they were tasty, I'd probably eat them.
Oh, well, I think it will have to be like a survival mode to eat them.
How different, really, is a tarantula and a crab?
Oh, gee. Well, the exoskeleton of the crab, it's hard. Instead of the spider that it has all of these like hairs.
Those come out of the exoskeleton of the spider, right?
Yeah, that's why I think it's gross.
Well, you don't eat the shell.
Yeah, but still, I mean, okay, okay, a tarantula has like this, like fangs in it. So
Yeah,
imagine,
and a crab has
ew.
mandibles, right?
Yeah, but you don't see them. You can take them out, and it's like those two little doors, like opening like this. Wow. Ah, disgusting. Oh my god.
I also think crab is disgusting.
No. I think tarantulas are disgusting, not crabs. I love crabs.
I used to work at a seafood restaurant, and I always thought we were basically selling the people big spiders.
Ah, okay, because you're selling them like the big ones, like the king crabs, right?
Sometimes king crab, yeah.
Okay, we have the smaller ones like this, like they're small.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I ever served any of those. I may have served crab meat from that, but yeah, the lobsters and the crab would have been larger than that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's a little bit more difficult to get them, but they're really tasty. But yeah, the relationship in between the exoskeleton of the crab and the exoskeleton of the tarantula is completely different. I mean, I wouldn't eat something that has hairs still there and black because they eat the black tarantulas.
It is pretty gross.
Yes, or scorpions, for instance. Oh, oh, it has to be in a survival mode to think about eating some of those. The really survival mode.
Yeah, I think I probably would be doing it just to try it or to prepare myself for survival mode or in survival mode, yeah. I might do
Yeah.
it just to try it though. I think I do sometimes try things that I know I won't like just so that I'll have had that experience.
Okay. I don't know if I will try a tarantula, but I may try a turtle. I may try snake. They eat the iguanas here. I haven't tried iguana. What else? We got some big caterpillars that are from. It comes from the jungle, so they're like yellow, and their head are like really big.
I bet you those are furry too.
No, they're not
Oh,
fairy,
they're
but
not? Oh, okay.
they're like gooey. I haven't tried them, but I have seen them like around. They put it like in a stick and they put it onto flames. Like, okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes. I don't know if I can just put images here. I don't think so, right? I cannot post an image here. No,
No,
right?
I don't think there'd be any way for you to do that. Now, if you wanted to get really fancy, there's a program called OBS. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I've never used it. I don't know very much about it, but what I do know that it does is it allows you to basically trick your computer into thinking that whatever OBS is sending it is getting sent to it by your camera. So OBS lets you use your camera usually, but you can also switch what you're showing on your camera to something else, or you can have all kinds of other things like overlays or things like that.
Okay.
And so if you really wanted to have something where you could be showing your face and showing something else, or replacing your face with something else or something like that, then OBS would probably be a good choice.
Yeah, but I do think that this application also has the same thing. Like it can share my
Oh, you can
screen.
share your screen. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. My mistake. Yeah, I'm just not very used to this program.
No, I'm not used to it either, but it's just like say that you can share it, but okay, share screen.
That's right. I see it at the bottom there, the one of the choices.
Yeah, I don't know how to search for this. I mean, I'm putting it here.
Well, do you see next to the cam mic button that we pressed
Yeah.
earlier? There's the share screen
Mhm.
button.
Yes. Let me check. First of all, let me try and get the images. I don't know how that's called. Oh, this one's. Okay. Share application. Share. I think. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's just sharing this one, but it's not sharing the one that it's moving.
Okay, yeah, I would have thought those things would be called grubs.
Okay, you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, these ones are the ones that I'm talking about.
Okay, I would have called those grubs. I don't know if that's the right word for them, but
I don't know, but they eat them like this. Like this.
right. Yeah, yeah. I've seen people eating things like those before as well. I wouldn't look forward to it. I would probably try it, but I don't think I'd enjoy it.
That's they eat it with this what's this called? From the plantain leaf. So they put them in it and they put some like I don't know spices and they cover it with mud and fire. So they eat them there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting. So yeah, that's scary. I mean, if I will have to go to survival mode, maybe trying this. Yeah. Or the guinea pigs. We also eat the guinea pigs.
You eat guinea pigs, really? I've never
I
heard
mean,
that
not
before.
me, not
Right.
me,
Okay.
but our people from the highlands. If you go to the highlands, for instance, you go to Cuenca, um, then you can get guinea pigs. Ugh. It's like big rats in a stick. I know that people are just taking them as pets, so sometimes people are
Yeah.
just like too
That's. I've only ever
sentimental
seen
about.
them at like petting zoos for very young children and as pets. That's right.
Yeah, no, we have them here. Here, let me show you. Eesh, terrible.
Yeah,
See them?
that bothers me a little bit. Yeah, because guinea pigs
Yeah,
are so nice.
yeah, they're cute. They're
Yeah.
cute, but they eat them like that. Eesh. Ugh. That's. I think that's the. If we are telling Chinese guys not to eat rats, I mean, we don't have the moral to say that. I mean, at least Ecuadorians. We don't have the moral. I mean, we shouldn't be saying that to them. We should be like, hey, you should stop eating the guinea pigs first. You know?
Yeah. I wouldn't. I've got 2 cats. I wouldn't eat them. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I wouldn't eat my cats either. So
You've got 2 as well.
no, I have 3.
Oh, okay.
But 2 of them are being taken care of away from this place, and I have only 1 cat with me here.
Well, at least you have 1.
Yes, at least I have one. The other ones are being taken care of.
Is that
Yes.
at a home away from home, or how come they're being taken care of?
I mean, yeah, in a home away from home because
Okay.
I cannot. Yeah, because I don't have space here. I'm temporarily living with my parents, so that's
Okay.
why. Mm-mm. So that's why.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I only have the male one because the ones that they have here died. So he's replacing
Oh.
the place. Yes, he's replacing the place of this lovely male cat that died 2 years ago. So, and they already have a female cat. So I have two. I had because right now they're someone else's, but I have two female cats and one male cat. All of them are sterilized, and the problem is that I decided to keep them, even though I was on my own and living and renting from places. It's because they have leukemia and they have AIDS, and
Oh my gosh.
they have like a really rough life.
I've never even heard of a cat having AIDS before.
Yeah, I know, and it was hard to realize that they had that. So I decided to keep them, and I decided to give them their best life before they start experiencing, all of these problems. And all of my three cats had the same issue. So all of the three had leukemia and AIDS.
Oh yeah. Well, I bet you both of those are contagious. That's
No, no, no. They are not contagious. I mean, they're only among cats. So
no. I didn't mean no. I meant among the cats.
yeah, among the cats,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they are sterilized.
Okay.
So the only way to get it past is if they were like biting each other.
Right.
So and they were like really like they were nice with each other. So I guess because they have like a really rough life, all of them they were rescued because I was rescuing animals before.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Well, that's very nice of you. My
yeah,
cats I've raised since they were kittens, but they were both always healthy, and they're healthy now.
that's good. That's good. I mean, it's better to have them indoors, not to have them outdoors, because that's how people do it here. They have animals, but they have them outdoors. So even though what kind of disease they will get outside, and when they come in, they will just get all of your animals inside and will get them sick.
Right. Right.
So it was terrible. Rescuing animals with really bad diseases is terrible. I have seen dogs just dying for leukemia, and I guarantee you that it's the worst pain that you can ever see in an animal. They're just drying from the inside. You just get like in bones. Even if you're trying really hard to get them like back on track, give them food, give them medicine, everything. You're trying everything, and you can see that the disease is just taking them away from you.
I don't think I could handle that.
Let me tell you, I have been handling like I think it was like five or six cases already. There was like this little kitten, like maybe a day. There were days like it was hard to see this little kitten being taken, eating. He wasn't moving. Dogs as well. It's hard. It's hard. But there are good cases. I mean, there are really nice people taking care of animals that had this kind of disease, and they gave them the best life quality until they passed. Yeah,
Now I'm sad.
I know, I'm sad too, but it's because we started talking about animals, and I'm sorry. I think it was because of me. I just started talking about that. I just remember the time when I was rescuing animals. So
pretty heartbreaking.
It is. I mean, you want to do something for them. For instance, in here they have so. I mean, people are not. Oh my God! If you come here, you will see animals being hit by cars and being left to die on the streets in certain parts. Not in every single part of the city, by the way. But for instance, if you go, let's say, to the highways, which are going like outside the city, you will see different animals on the side of the road that are being hit by cars. And the only thing that you can do is trying to get closer to them and see if they can still breathe so you can take them to the vet. And I did that with a couple of cats, but none of them survived because it was too late. They were already being, everything has been compromised inside of them.
We have to talk about something else.
Yes.
It's horrible.
I know. Okay, so what we were talking about before. Okay, we're talking about different kinds of animals. So I think if it's a survival mode, let's say if you have to choose in between a tarantula or a scorpion, which one would you eat?
Probably is like
You have those ones being fried in front of you and being served in a plate.
Yeah, I think
Just like
I
that.
think I'll go scorpion. I bet you will too.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't go with a tarantula. No. Mm-mm.
I have a hard time thinking of spiders as food.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I have like a phobia with spiders. I just don't like them. I just don't. So yes, if you ask me, in between those two, it will be the scorpion, definitely.
How
Oh,
about you get the choice? You now have to be the queen of a country, and you have all the responsibilities for the country. And if the country fails, you're executed,
oh,
or you'll be sent out into space as the first woman to see how far we can get you to go before you die. But you'll be alone for the rest of your life.
mm.
And
Okay, those
we'll
two.
send you with whatever resources you want, but not people.
In both cases.
Well, you've got whatever resources of that country there is, but if you abuse the resources of the
Because
country, maybe that'll cause the country to collapse. But if you're in the spaceship and you want, 1,000 days worth of, I don't know, wheat thins, then you can have them.
well, I think that's it might be a biased answer, because it depends. When I wasn't a mother before, I would have chosen going into space because I think that's really relevant in regards to discoveries and doing something that no one else has been doing. But then when you get to be a mother, then you change your goals and priorities. And I think I will just want to stay here, even though I will get myself killed if I don't do it correctly. But I will try my best, and I will still be with my loved ones, right?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Exactly.
I don't have kids, but I think I'm probably one of the few guys my age that recognize how important family is, and how much of a gift children are.
Exactly. So, and I'm a single mother, so I need to take care of my baby. So it's actually like I need to protect him. So if you maybe you could, okay, if you have asked me this 3 years before, I might have answered the space. I mean, going to space. That will have been my answer, definitely.
Is your son like 2 or?
No. My son is 1 year and 1 month old.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. So, as I said, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I might have chosen the space. I mean, going through space, even if I had to die in the process, because in both ways you're going to die.
Yeah, you think it's inevitable you'd screw up the country?
Exactly, because you're not going to make everyone else satisfied. So you will still be doing things wrong. I mean, if you're not from the left wing, then they're going to say that you are doing it wrong. Or if you're not from the right wing, they're going to say that you're doing it wrong. So, no, you, it's a lose-lose situation. So you lose in the end. You're not gaining anything, just getting a headache.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at it that way. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, but that's the only way that you can get rich, like in quotes, because honest people, they won't choose the government because they know that they will get themselves killed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that go into the government do it for dishonest reasons, and I think they realize it's a quick way to get money and fame and other things. Yeah.
Exactly, because you have to deal with mafias. All of them have to do with money. Like if you don't give them money, then they will try to hurt your family. They will try to harm you. I don't know.
That's not something that is reality in Canada, at least to public knowledge. Like I don't know anything about that happening in Canada, so that's very different here than there.
Um, Maybe it's because everything it's been socialized, and because it's the first world country, you think that everything is fine, but in the back, everything has been paid for because you have enough resources to pay for, right? So that's the difference in between the third world countries that we don't know much. We are still believing we're still believing on people like they are good people. They're going to the government because they want to do a good job, and we are not making good decisions when we are voting for them. So, for instance, someone will come and will say, "Hey, I'm going to help you with the debt, and we're going to give you everything that you want," and it's going to start like gathering all of this mass of people that thinks that they know what they are voting for. But in the end, we're getting someone that will start paying for our resources to every single mafia that it's around, so everything will be fine. That's what happened with the last president that we had.
Mm-hmm.
With Correa, everything seems to be fine. Nothing was being said about drugs. Why? Because he was paying to all of these narcos. So that's why no one was actually sending any news about finding lots of cocaine in boats going around Galapagos. They were coming in submarines. Like you cannot stop the drug dealers, but he can silence them and he can silence the press. So it's like the way that you're paying to the people. Like, okay, you are not going to put anything to the press, and then you're not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave everything open for you just to go ahead and do what you have to do.
I wonder how much of that happens here.
And I'm not going to put the
You're breaking up for me. I think that your connection is broken.
You are the ones that are receiving the final product.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, you broke up for a minute there. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back. Yep.
Okay. So no, I was saying that the thing is that everyone is just getting money, and in the end, the United States and also Canada and the United Kingdom and all of these first world countries are the ones that are consuming the final product, which is cocaine and heroin and everything that's been done here.
That's what I hear. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you can tell me if you can go around walking in the streets, like you can see people smoking, I don't know, maybe marijuana, right?
Here, are you asking me here?
Yeah.
Uh, it depends. I'd say that's pretty rare. Sometimes at festivals you could expect it, but I would say for the most part it's not something that you see. Maybe at a park or something like that occasionally, but it's actually illegal to sell it or to smoke it outside in public, and so I think people avoid it right now. So it's rare right now.
Yeah, but that's why. But it's because it's legal. In here, it's illegal. So there are like micro dealers that are forcing children in the schools to sell drugs.
Okay, yeah, I think we basically had that just even a few years ago, but we just recently legalized it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I mean, I think we legalized like a small portion of it, but it's not like a big amount. And people were just like walking around with their cigarettes, I mean, with their marijuana cigarettes. You know, that's like a distinctive smell from
Oh
a
yeah,
normal
definitely,
cigarette.
definitely, yeah, yeah.
So, oh, and there are lots of people being killed because of it. You know, but there are people that they are like dealing with money and dealing with drugs, and then you listen to like every single day there are someone that has been killed, but it's because of, I don't know, maybe they shared the wrong amount of money and they just got vengeance. So that's another kind of
I
news.
yeah, I don't think there's much honor among those people. I'm sure there's a lot of bad deals, and then probably a lot of people just killing people for money.
Yeah, exactly, but it has to do with drugs as well.
Right.
Yeah, it has to do with drugs. It's so bad.
Is that why you wanted to move to Canada? You said.
um I do want to move to Canada because of the security. In here, I don't have much security. I don't want to. I don't want to see my kid getting involved with drugs, getting involved with bullying. Like, because there are lots of people that are bullying kids. Um, Also that are being abused by teachers. And in general, I think in general, that's why.
Okay, yeah, I think in general you would be a lot safer here, and
Hmm.
as long as you didn't let it happen, you wouldn't be pushed around by bullies and things like that and criminals. I have known stories of immigrants that have come here, and certain people have tried to push them around, and it's worked because they are used to being from another country. But if you have criminals pushing around here in Canada, go to the police, and the police will help you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But in here, you go to the police and they charge them for a different kind of charge. For instance,
sure.
there was like a crime today. Wasn't a crime, but it was a person that was claiming that two guys in a bike wanted to kill him. But the only thing that they did was like accusing them for having guns, but not because of intent of um, homicide. So
Right,
it's a different charge. So
right.
you'll have less amount of years to go to prison.
Yeah, I think that probably the police do that sort of thing here too. Maybe for different reasons though, where they will charge people with lesser crimes, and I don't know why they do that. I think there's this confused idea that the law is too harsh, and so don't enforce the law. But that's not. It's not supposed to be the decision of those people.
Exactly.
If somebody breaks the law, then if we think the law is a people, not as some person, but as the people, if we decide that some law is too harsh or not harsh enough, we can vote to change it.
Yeah, exactly. For instance, in here, you get a criminal dead, and the next day everyone will be, I'm going to say bullying, but it's harassment, to be honest, to the guy, I mean, from the police that killed the criminal, and they are harassing him, and they're going to like sending him threats that he is going to get killed because he killed a criminal.
Right.
So that's why people are just like, okay, I just going to grab the criminal, take him or her to justice, then justice will be served supposedly, and he or she's going to get free in a couple of days.
Yeah, if those are the options, I could imagine people trying to deal with something themselves. I imagine you get pretty desperate.
It is because you don't know what's going to happen after you. I mean, after you take this person or these people to justice, and then they're just going to come back and they're going to get vengeance. They're going to like harm your family and hurt you in the process. No one can do anything because you need to defend yourself only if you're in danger, which is even worse. I mean, you're not allowed to defend yourself. I mean, you have to get yourself killed to try and do something. That's why I don't want to actually be here, because that's something that I don't share.
Yeah, I think the laws are kind of similar here, but yeah, I think things are just generally safer here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember a movie of the name of it was a Kevin Bacon movie where
Okay.
he got involved with back and forth with this gang. I can't remember what the name of it was though.
I don't know which movie. I
Darn.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Death Sentence. It was called Death Sentence. You've never
Okay.
seen that one before, hey?
I don't think so. Maybe I have, but I think it's like an old movie, right?
Like the 90s, I think. Yeah, 90s or 2000s. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I haven't seen it. That's why. Well, I have a lot to catch up, to be honest, in movies. So I don't tend to go to movies anymore.
It's most fun to watch movies with other people, I think.
Yeah, but you know, I really like the old school ones. The ones that are coming out, I mean, only if they're Marvel or DC Comics, all of them got something special, like in the action type, and then the other ones you have to like watch them with a grain of salt and trying to understand if it's good for you just to watch them or not.
Sure.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen Lawrence of Arabia?
No,
No.
no, I haven't seen movies like in 2 years. So,
Lawrence of Arabia came out, I think,
but if
originally
it's
50 years ago.
then I
Uh,
haven't seen, of course.
okay. What's a good classic that you like?
Um, I like Little Women. It's not that as a classic. I would say Casablanca, but I don't remember much. I watched the movie a long time ago when I was really young. Um, oh my god, it's been so long. Well, the typical ones, I guess. The typical um like Grease and
Oh yeah.
which ones? Ah, Animal Farm. I saw that too. Which one?
Do you ever read like Animal Farm is based on a book
Yes,
by
a
Orwell?
novel. Yes, yeah, from high school. I read that,
You
and I
did?
read.
Okay.
Yeah, we had like in 1984. 4 as well.
Yeah. Oh,
The Handmaid's Tale, A Brave New World.
I just read 1984 for the first time,
Mhm.
and like that, I can imagine being forced to read that in high school. I would have hated it, but
No, it was one of the. It was a really good book. I mean, I know
yeah.
people were just like hating it, but I think Quixote is even worse.
Which
If
one?
you ask Quixote.
Is that what I would pronounce as Don Quixote?
Yes. Wow. Wow. That was one of the worst nightmares. Like
Okay.
you will read that book like in the entire year because it's so big and it has like 2 tomes. It's like this big.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, I've never read that. I've never met anybody that read it either, but you've read it, hey?
yeah, I remember certain parts, but it was so boring. Maybe if I read it now, it will be different. I have also read like that was in Spanish. I don't know if the translation will be 100 Years of Solitude from Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Okay, not familiar with that one.
That is a really good book. Years. So yes, 100 Years of Solitude. That will be the translation, I think. Yes. Which one? What would be another? Well, I have some other Spanish books that I have read. Um, Greek books as well. Well, Greek story. Um,
Like, do you would I know it as like a ancient Greek play or what?
I mean the typical Dionisio, for instance. What is the name of this one's? Um, Caballo de Troya also. Let's see. Well, the translation will be Troy horse, but it's not specific. That's not exactly the translation.
Did you say Troy horse?
Medea.
Troy
Yeah.
horse?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the story of Troy.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is also um, Medea, which is also another story. It's a It's from Greek as well, but I don't know how to translate that. That's like the name of it. Hmm.
I don't know it by that name.
Is Medea. Medea? That will be a
Yeah, that maybe I have heard of that, but it's not ringing bells now.
let me see. Greek stories. It's like little books. Greek stories, yes, little books. Mythology.
Okay, so
Everything has to do with
you read the
mythology.
Euripides play. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I have not read that one. I'm interested in that though. I've
They're
read.
like there's like small and short stories. Like there's like really short stories, not that long that you can read. But the thing is that I have to like translate the names.
Right.
Mm, yes. Let's see if this one has.
Like I've read the Theban plays, like about Oedipus.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about there?
Yes, I think so. Prometheus, I think I read. Heracles, I think I read. Perseus and Medusa, I think I read. Icarus, I think I read. Trojan War.
The Trojan War. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Wow, it sounds like you're a lot better read in those fields than I am. I hope to read those someday, but I certainly never read them in high school or anything.
Yeah, they were like in Spanish. They was like trying to like get us into maybe technical words and vocabulary. So an old old formal way to talk.
Right.
So in Spanish.
Oh,
So
okay. That makes
mhm.
sense.
Yeah, that's why they were using that kind of books.
Did you study any Shakespeare?
I think we read a couple of poems, but nothing like out of the ordinary.
Interesting. Here in
We,
Canada,
uh huh.
you always cover a few Shakespearean plays in high school, but it looks like you guys focused a lot more on the Greeks.
Yeah, I mean, well, in my high school, because it was in English, where for instance we were focusing on the history specifics of the United States, and it was like history, language. I mean, language arts, um, theory of knowledge, economics, and nothing that has to do with literature specifics. But they were having like their own books, and they would have their own short stories, so they weren't related to something specific. The only thing that I do remember, because I loved poetry when I was at high school and I was writing poetry, which was from the Edgar Allan Poe
Oh, okay.
poetry. Yes, so that's what I remember.
I want to give him another shot now that I'm an adult. I tried reading him when I was in elementary school, so a young child, and I absolutely hated him. So I'm gonna have to give him another shot because I know he's very popular among a lot of people.
Yeah, and I don't know, the poetry that was written by him was really like dense, and stories that he had, I think some of them, or I think most of them were uh, like it was not a horror story, but it was like a terror one, I think. Let me check. I remember one that has to do with the heart that was hidden somewhere in the house.
Right,
I
the
don't remember.
Telltale Heart. The
Yes,
Telltale Heart.
yes, the Telltale Heart. Yes, that was like really sad, and but it was I don't know how to translate it. It's not terror. It's not horror. It's like scary in certain
Sure, yeah.
stories. Scary. So
I think I would translate it as a kind of horror, like the dread that you feel with the Telltale Heart. Um,
mm,
and yeah, the Raven. That's another one that's just about dread.
the
Yeah.
Raven. Yes. Yeah, those are the ones that I remember that I read and that we had it at high school. And then afterwards, everything was computers. Like if you ask me, I will be like reading lots of languages, and I mean not languages just to like idioms, but programming languages. So everything that I read was in high school. And I have lots of ebooks that I wanted to read, but every time that I was starting to read, I just like left it on like half.
That sounds like a strange change. That seems like a big switch from poetry to something that's so logically based.
Yeah, it's because I'm really logic, but I do like poetry. So like in my spare time, I was writing poetry, and then I left it because I have to be more logical because I needed to earn money.
Oh, okay. So it was just
So
about what you had to do.
exactly, you have to switch. So I would have stayed in my university just investigating things and earning the minimum, like 200 or 300, just to like maybe get a couple of things done there and not doing much. So was that, or jump into the businesses and then try to search for a good job, and that's what I decided to do. And I was also trying to create a business, like baking cakes and sweets and stuff. So I was working on that as well. So I wasn't sleeping. I was delivering cakes, like wedding cakes, and for the quinceañeras, like the really expensive ones. And they were like really big, um, like parties that I had to like deliver sweets and cakes. And then, as I said, like just like poetry, I just decided to move away from that and being logical and say I need the money. So I left that part aside.
Well, I hope you have a chance to get back to it before it's gone forever. But yes, sometimes you have to make that choice. So you have to make those decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Like I bake a cake every now and then. I'm too old for that now. Like there have been so many like better quality cakes now. So I was doing the old school ones with the buttercream and just the normal decorations, just flowers and stuff like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. So now everything has to be themes and like colors and everything's so pretty. So I have to like.
I was thinking more of you getting back to your writing, like the poetry and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm sure the
Yes.
cakes are beautiful, they're fun to do, but I think there's something more unique about writing, something special that's different for every person. That, if I'm making cakes, maybe I can make them in a different way than you do, but it's something that's not going to last in the same way as poetry.
Yes, exactly. Um, I know that I have a certain part of my books and I don't know I don't know where it is around the house, but I have my writing because I wrote poetry. I wanted to publish a little book, but that got lost when I was moving around places. So when I was renting, I was just taking my stuff with me, so I have to search it before it get lost completely. So I know I have something already written when I was really young. So
Well, in the future, I suggest back everything up. I have had some scary situations myself, and I like to have things online if I can.
yeah, I mean, if I can find it, definitely. Because when you get to move so abruptly as I did, I just took everything in boxes and I just came back. I mean, I just came here, and everything is just a mess up. So I need to clear my mind and go through all of the stuff and see if I can find it. It might be around. So, but yeah, I do get the idea of sitting and then just getting back to that. I mean, just start writing again.
Yeah, like I have spent a lot of my life focused on writing, and so I obviously think it's really important. Just like, you know, everybody that focuses on something, it seems really important, I think.
Yeah.
You understand a lot more about the depth to computer programming than I do, and the importance of keeping up with that and everything like that. And but I've been focused on writing, and I know that a lot of people really enjoy writing when they're younger, and then they give it up because they have to be responsible, and
Exactly.
then they try to go back to it when they're older, and sometimes the fire's not there anymore. And I hope you keep the fire alive.
I mean, and that's the thing that you need to get your you, you, you need to get back to how well in my case I need to get back to how I was writing because I was getting a feeling and then with that feeling I was writing something and I wasn't writing about me. I was writing about something that I was seeing at that moment or I saw before. Um, but I think it's yes. I think I do buy I do buy the idea of getting back and write because we were doing that when I was at high school. I was just writing a journal because we had to. The teacher was telling us you have to write a journal in English, and that helped us a lot, at least for
I think
me.
it does. Yeah.
So you tend to be more open. You tend to like express your feelings, and that's why I think people when they have a different language, they just forget about the second language. because they're just scared of talking, or they prefer their own language, and they don't jump into this like gap that we have. Like, even though it's because they say, okay, you have your native language, and then you want to write like poetry in English. You don't have the main words that you may be using to write poetry. So
Right.
you need to investigate, you need to analyze, you need to like try to make it more like to sound better, and depends on what kind of story you want to tell. And but yeah, I do think people are scared of doing that, but I will get the I get the idea. I will do it. I will do it. I will try to set up. I do have to set up my New Year's resolution, even though it's February. But I do have to set up my New Year's resolution. I think I can get it at least to write one, maybe one poetry a month, so I can get my book in 2 years as well.
Sure, one piece of poetry a month. That would be great.
Mm-mm.
I
Yes.
think you've got a message. You've got somebody from in your live chat there.
Do I? I don't. It's only us.
The Samuel M. B. I noticed it didn't show up on StreamYard, but it showed up on YouTube.
Okay, it's just showing it now. Hi, Samuel. You know Yuri. No, I'm not. I'm not sure who Yuri is. No, I don't know. I'm so sorry, Samuel. If you can actually explain a little bit more. Do you know something about Yuri, Nicholas? No? I mean, I don't know this person. I mean, I don't know. This is a new subscriber. It's someone new from for the live stream. So I don't know. I just googled Yuri, and she said that she's back in Vancouver doing something. What's this girl? Oh, I'll just answer it. I don't know who Yuri is. It is strange. I think StreamYard is just doesn't have I mean, it's not aligned completely to YouTube, so it's taken a while to get replies. I don't know if that's okay or not.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
No, I was saying that I think the StreamYard it has like some sort of delay in between YouTube and StreamYard itself.
Okay, yeah, that must be the case because it didn't show up before. Yeah, but it showed up now. Yeah,
exactly, and it might be my internet connection as well. So I don't know. I mean, we do have really bad internet connection here. So because you saw the message first, and I wasn't even getting the message, and I got it 2 minutes later.
I didn't see it in StreamYard though. I checked the YouTube page.
Oh, okay. Well, I think if I do that, then I will do like a double. I'm guessing a rebound. I think it's called, or like the audio. So
Oh, an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing that video at the same time, but you can
exactly.
go to that page and you can pop the chat out, or you can pause the video.
Yes, but I will still get my internet connection really slow. So I don't think I want that.
If you pause the video, then it won't be trying to load it anymore, I don't think. But yeah, whatever you like. Yep, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
If it takes a couple minutes for you to respond to people, I'm sure they can wait. This is a pretty low energy, slow, chill situation here.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't know why this person asked for Yuri, but when I make a research on Google, it says that this person is coming. I mean, it's a Japanese girl that is. I think I'm guessing that it's having a presentation in Vancouver. So I don't know why this person asked for that. I've never seen this person before, so.
Well, he's got his manly pink on. Did you know pink, like hundreds of years ago, used to be a man's color?
Really? In YouTube?
Well, not in YouTube. Hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
Used
Sorry,
to be sure, yeah. It used to be associated with men. Pink.
Pink.
Yeah, it was a manly color.
Manly color. Interesting. The more you know. I mean, now we are so used to saying blue is for guys and pink is for girls.
Yeah. And I think it used to be blue is for girls. I'm not as sure of that one, but I think it used to be reversed. Yeah.
Okay.
And men wore heels before women.
Yeah, exactly. I knew that. We were actually joking with some friends at work because of that. Because we are all like from old school. So we're all like closer to the 40s, or we're already in the 40s. So we're saying, hey, remember when people were trying to get the high heels for men, and now you think that it's gay?
No, I'm talking about hundreds of years ago. You guys had a fashion movement for men with high heels?
Well, they have it in the United States. Remember all the boogie thing, like in the 70s and the 60s? Men were using high heels.
High heels on men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the name of the movie was Boogie Nights. And
okay.
John Travolta was in there. I think it was the name of the movie.
Yeah, that does sound like I don't think I've ever seen that one, but
well,
I'm just trying to see if I can see some of these high heels.
Get the picture. I mean, I have it here.
Oh, you've got it?
Yeah, I got it here. Wait, let me share
it. I was just looking for it right there. Yeah, because I'm talking about like hundreds and thousands of years ago.
Oh.
Before it was a common thing for women to wear them.
Okay.
I'm talking about history. Yeah.
Okay.
Back when men used to wear socks up to past their knees.
Okay. I mean, everything sounds so like strange, but this is the picture.
Okay, yeah, I guess I've never noticed how high those heels are.
You see, that's like really high up.
Wow.
So this movie was great, and John Travolta was moving really good with those high heels. So he can do it. Any man can do it. So. He looks so fancy when he was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
young.
he was such a good-looking guy. He's still good looking. All these decades later, and he's still good looking.
Yeah, but this was like this part was like that was it. That was the bomb. That was the bomb. 1977. Saturday Night Fever. I was like Boogie Nights. I just sorry. That wasn't the name of the movie. It was Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, but Boogie Nights is another one. I think I don't know which one that is, but yeah, I've heard of that one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it came in.
I bet you the first time you saw John Travolta was in Grease, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and then there were all of these movies coming in. So
I remember my first girlfriend in grade 5, and she was big into Grease and big into the 50s and 60s, and she really wanted like me to participate in that, and I was just too young and I didn't understand on any level.
that's normal. That's normal. So
An 11-year-old boy doesn't understand the fascination with this thing called Grease.
that's fine. That's normal. I mean, it's normal that you want to just play football or soccer and you just want to do your stuff, not to go and watch movies like that. I'm guessing.
I was happy watching it with her, but yeah, I wasn't. It was another world for her. It was a magical world for her that she wanted to live in, and I didn't quite understand that at that age. I get it a little bit more though now.
Yeah, yeah. That's the main problem for us women, that our parents just paint us like a really nice, um, I don't know, fairy tale story about finding someone that will be forever in your life, blah blah blah. So that's why I'm guessing that's what we're talking about.
No, no, I meant like she wanted to sort of go through all the role playing of Grease and things like that, and I didn't understand the fascination with that world, you know.
Okay,
And
so
I think it was mainly because it was presented in a flashy way with a handsome guy and good looking women, and they were singing. And so it seemed like a fun thing, right? I understand this all as an adult, but when I was a child, I was just like, why do you want to do this? Like, it's just a movie, you know?
but what she wants to like dance and
Yeah, yeah,
sing.
dance around and sing around and
Oh well, you were like 11 years old.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. It was fine. I just didn't understand it when I was a child because I was a child.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like doing a role play.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I didn't understand why she'd be so interested in that and not in something that a boy would be interested in, you know? Right.
Maybe she wants into the arts. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Like girls are just more interested in social relationships and things like that than boys are generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about the fairy tale, and I think that's still possible. But the thing is, I think a really important aspect of that is this idea that when two people do create a family, that they're supposed to stay together. And I don't want you to take that as a judgment on you or anything like that. I have no idea what your situation is
Yeah,
or
of
what you
course.
wanted or who you were with or whatever. But I think as a society, we've got this idea that you just go with someone for a while and try something out, and then you move on to the next one. You try something out, and the thing about that is the beginning of every relationship is so much better than maintaining a relationship. Keeping a relationship going and keeping a relationship healthy is so much harder and less exciting than the beginning of any relationship, right?
Yes, but you actually try.
Yeah, yeah.
You actually
And
try.
and that's a different thing. And I think as a society in general, maybe more here in Canada than Ecuador, I don't know, people just have forgotten about the effort that family takes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't say it like in a live stream. I will definitely like if there is something that I need to talk about my private life, it will be like not here, but I think it's in everywhere. If, for instance, in here, everything has to do with the fact that everyone is a macho, is or
Hmm.
that's the male society. Like women needs to understand that men can cheat and they can go around with women, and we need to like survive that atmosphere. It's just thinking that our men are cheating on us, and we get really jealous. That's how the Latin culture is, supposedly, or that's how they paint us women. Um, but
I
on the
feel
other hand,
I
uh-huh,
feel like it might be kind of switched around the other way in Canada, where I think men are supposed to sort of just deal with the fact that sometimes women are unfaithful, and that we're really painted as being jealous when we get upset about things like that.
oh, well, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. Um, I mean, I do have a really good example, but as I said, I don't want to like say it in this stream. I think I do have. Uh, okay. How do I use the private chat here? I wonder. But well, anyways, it doesn't matter. The thing
I
is that,
think
uh-huh.
yeah, it's not important we deal with that right now, but
No, but the
I
thing
think
is that
you
I
just
wanted to like
you could
give an example of a Canadian guy
okay.
that
You could click the private chat tab at
uh-huh.
the top there, and then at the bottom there should be a chat with the host and other guests at the bottom,
Yes,
and then
but
just
it does. Yeah, but I cannot choose anyone, so I'm guessing that it's only for you.
that's right. Yeah, that won't be displayed. But if somebody were to come into the room, and you have posted the link publicly, so if somebody were to come in afterward, then they would see whatever you had written.
Okay. Okay. So I cannot delete it now.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to delete it after posting it.
Yes, I can see it. Yes. So the thing is that the example is with a Canadian. So but he had mental issues. So he seemed to be like a quite nice person, but in the end, he had mental issues. And even though you're saying, yeah, maybe in there, they're like, it seems to be jealous, and maybe the women are not faithful, but you have everything that you have to deal with different kind of people. In here, mental problem, maybe because we are not that open to that, but we don't see people to have mental problems. We just tend to see people cheating, right? But in the first world countries, you tend to see more mental issues, and people are stressed, and people that are living a fast life, and they don't care about having families. They just want to like live their lives, and that's it. Like just travel around and just that. I have seen people just like wanted to travel around the world. They're coming from another country and they just wanted to live like the easy life, um, asking
I
for
think a lot
money,
of
maybe
Canadians are like that. Yeah.
like not maybe not asking for money, but maybe just like working in different things that are simple. They don't have to take care of anything else. They don't have like houses and mortgages and debts and stuff. They're just like traveling,
Right.
and
Right.
that's it. And that's why I think they don't want families, and that they don't want to stay faithful because they have this really big world that they can travel around. Because I think you only need visa for a certain amount of countries, and you have an open space to go around the world, and that's how it is.
Yeah, it's really easy for Canadians to travel, and I think yeah, a lot of like both men and women. I think um, when they cheat, I think a lot of times they're thinking it's not that bad. This old relationship wasn't that great anyway, and I'm going to have this exciting new relationship.
Exactly, which is sad because you forget everything that you have learned with your parents or with your family. and all of that history is forgotten, and then you are starting a new life. It's like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and it's easy for me to just move on, and that's it. I just move on. I mean, we as a Latin American culture, we tend to have family values. But if you ask me, I am not. I shouldn't be talking about family values. I have a broken family, by the way, at the moment. So that's as much as I can say. So that's why I need to take care of me and my little boy.
Right.
So, but it's due to the circumstances. I don't think that everyone will get the same kind of history that I have. So I will definitely say that people like tend to cheat here. Like men are the ones that are more tend to cheat than women in here, at least, like in Latin America. We tend to be the crazy ones. Like the women are the ones that tend to be the crazy ones that are behind the men, and they're just like checking their cell phones and checking everything just to make sure that they're being faithful.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's really common for both men and women to cheat in Canada. I know it's more common for women, but I think it's really common for both. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people just don't think of it as that serious.
That's really bad.
I think so.
That's really bad.
I think it ruins the opportunity to have a good relationship. Like you're talking about that fairy tale that your parents told you about.
Exactly.
And I think that for that to exist, you have to believe that, when you meet someone, and I'm not talking about you, but when you meet somebody and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, that you're going to figure out however to make that work. You guys are both going to do whatever you can. And I don't think that's the way most people go into relationships anymore.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you tend to have like the easy life. Like, okay, how are you doing this, and how am I doing this? And you're not going to bothering me with things.
Yeah,
am
yeah.
I going to be bothering you with things?
I like having you as my girlfriend because you make me happy, and when you don't make me happy anymore, you'll stop being my girlfriend.
Exactly. And then you can leave. The door is open.
Yeah, yeah.
Goodbye. Like that. It's so simple.
Yeah.
So simple now. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. That's why all of this, like, girl empowerment and people just, I don't know, women are just about this feminist movement too serious. And they're better than men, and they want everything, that they want more rights, and I don't know, they are pro-abortion, and they are pro everything, and they're against men.
Yeah, that's really the problem, is that I think it's great as long as women want equal rights to men, but I think it's a problem when it gets to be disparaging men and a total focus on women, which I think a lot of times it is. Like in Canada, men got the vote after women in terms of universal suffrage. So like feminism here was not about getting equal rights. And I don't think feminism now is about equal rights. I think it's about, it's sort of like if we made a whole study that just, like, imagine you and I were married, and we made a whole school that just focused on the things that were important to me and the things that I was upset about. And we just had a team of researchers doing that. We would get so much information about the things that are important to me and the things that you've done wrong that have hurt me, right? And we wouldn't get the other side of that.
Yes, exactly.
And if I was just reading that research every day, I think I'd become a very angry person. And you could be a great and loving wife, and I would just be like, well, look at all this stuff that you've done. Like, how can I ever forgive you or trust you? You know?
Exactly. exactly. So it's not actually right, but it's actually what you are doing that I want to do as well.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how the feminist movement is. At least for me, that's my opinion.
A
Like
lot of
if
times
you
they'll point out things that men do that are really terrible, and they'll say
exactly
women should do those things, and it's like, what? That's totally backwards.
exactly, it's not because men do it. It's because people that shouldn't be doing it are doing that, and then you also want to do that. That's that blows my mind. That's I mean that's crazy. Like asking to be the same thing that we have been condoning, that we have been saying not to do that for a long time, and now people are just like, oh, I just want to do that because that's the liberty, that's the rights that we deserve as women. Oh no, but it's getting too harsh. It's getting too harsh. It's getting too hard, even to deal with women that has that kind of train of thought. And these are like hard topics, to be honest. These are hard topics because some women are really entitled to this, and when you touch this subject, they're just like all over you. So sometimes
Yeah,
it's scary to talk to them.
I think a lot of times if somebody hears that you don't support feminism, then that means that you don't think women should have the equal rights to men or something like that. But like there's a
Exactly,
lot of different positions to take on these issues, and a lot of different ways to read these labels.
exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing, and it's. I mean, for me, it's scary because you are changing the way things are being done, and you won't only have people that are abusing women. You will also have women gangs killing men because they want to, because they're entitled to. I don't know if rape will be like a hard word to say at this moment, but I don't think men will get raped. I don't know if that will be a
That
word for
that
them.
that's unlikely, just because men and women are like everybody's different, but we're generally focused on different things and interested in different things. And so I think it's pretty unlikely that we're going to have like rape gangs or something like that where men are being abused by women. But we certainly do have situations where where women feel entitled to men's money.
Hmm.
Like
Okay. Yes.
my mother, before I was ever born, she divorced my father. Well, she didn't divorce
Hmm.
him; she separated from him. He didn't do
Okay.
anything wrong, but that the laws say that you can separate. That's fine. And then the judge said, "Okay, well, we're going to give the mother total custody, and since the
Hmm.
mother has total custody, the father has to pay this certain amount of money every month." And it was a lot of money for that time. Um, and where was I going with this? Oh, my mother, throughout my entire life until I was about until my father died, actually, was getting money from my father, where my father would have liked to have been part of my life.
Of
Um,
course.
and then my father died before I ever got to be 18. And so,
Hmm.
since she was still legally married to him, even though he was trying to get her to sign a divorce papers because he was with another woman, like I was like 14 at this time, so they had been separated for over a decade. Um, but because he died, she ended up getting the money from the government that he had been paying into every month, and so
Oh
she's still getting money
wow.
from him. Yeah. So like she was with him for maybe like a year or two, and she's been getting money for over 35 years, and I'm sure she feels entitled to it. Like she doesn't feel guilty about getting that money or anything like that. And
No.
if you just were to study feminism and you weren't to talk to anybody, then I could understand thinking that. Like you just think, oh well, men have abused women for so many generations, then it's finally time for me to get mine. Like, I'm being liberated. And it's like, no, you're forcing somebody else to work for you. That's slavery.
Exactly. That's so wrong. I mean, if we have that kind of thing here, that would be terrible.
Yeah, like in ancient Chinese society, one of the things they used to do, and in Japanese society, is if you had a powerful family, they would force you to take at least one of your children and
Uh-huh.
and have them stay in the main capital. And it was extremely expensive to stay in the main capital. And so they would have a hostage and they would get money for having that person in the capital every month. And that was basically what I was to my mother.
Yeah. Wow. That's a really hard story. I'm so sorry to hear about that, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, it's far in the past.
Yeah. But it's really bad. I mean, it's really bad to have like to trick the government and to trick your father to have all this going on. I mean,
I think it is really horrible, yeah, and that's just I think it's important to mention just so that we don't think that just because somebody doesn't believe in feminism, because there's a lot of problems with feminism, but that doesn't mean that like they can still support equal rights like I do. They're
yeah.
different things.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there are people coming in to the live chats. They're
Awesome,
talking.
awesome.
Yeah, look. I mean, okay. Let me see.
We
Let's
just
check it
had to
out.
start talking about the edgy topics.
Yes, and then I have a topic in the banner. So I place like talking about YouTube community. So Bacon Salad said YouTube communities cancer boom conversation completed. Like your hat, by the way. Um, I don't have a hat, so but hey there. So the other one is like every thought is a battle, every breath is a war, and I don't think I'm winning anymore. Okay, thank you for the piece of poetry, I think. Sounds nice. Um, there's a demigoddess that came in. We are good. Thank you. We're just talking about the YouTube community.
Welcome, demigoddess.
Welcome.
You guys can come in the room, right, Mama?
Yep. You
Got
can
the
call me
link there.
back, by the way.
Yeah, we've got the link on chat there.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't see anyone around. I think everyone left again. I think. Well, in here, the only thing that I can see like live viewers are 0, even though you are here. But it says that live viewers are 0.
Oh, demigoddess just responded.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, she responded a long time ago, like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, she just asked, "What about the community?"
Okay, I just saw the message. Okay, I wanted to talk about something that here that we weren't talking about. Like Nicholas was saying, okay, not the YouTube community, but what's going on is like everything. It's about drama. So everyone wants to have some drama in their own YouTube channels to be able to grow. So there are people faking their girlfriend's death. Um, yes, I'm sorry, Demi Goddess. I think I'm having some sort of delay with the StreamYard and the YouTube channel. So I'm sorry if I'm not responding as quick as I wanted to, but I'm trying to like read and answer. But that we didn't talk about the community because Nicholas came in. He came in a live stream. I think it was like a couple of streams ago. I think it was like a couple of live streams ago, right? And we were talking about getting StreamYard for the live stream. So I was testing it, and he was here. So we were just going around talking about every single subject that we had in mind. So at the moment, we are talking about women's rights and the feminist movement. So that's why we didn't went into directly into the YouTube community. But what I wanted to say is that everything has to do with drama. Everything is involved into drama. People are just wanting to get different reactions from subscribers to get hate because they feel that it's better. For instance, the Onision case. This guy has been grooming victims forever since he started off YouTube. And now he's been surrounded by the FBI and getting all of this information, and he is gaslighting in his YouTube channel and trying to get everyone to believe that it's not his fault. Me, I'm simple-minded. I only care about noodles. So I'm guessing that you like the mukbangs communities, then. You may know about Nikocado Avocado, right? Nikocado Avocado has been doing lots of drama lately, so I am not saying that you should just go and watch him. I mean, if you want to watch the older Nikocado Avocado, but he is just being like the bad guy of the community. So he is. He's a drama queen. He's a drama queen. He's a drama queen. The last thing that I know that he was saying is that he did something to one of his subscribers. I mean, I think he just slept with someone that wasn't his husband, and that was it. And saying that David Dobrik stole his DNA and he needed to be like, he was supposed to be rich and famous and whatever, or that he was blaming the BTS and K-pop fans to all of these videos that he was like seeing in the Twitter and his Twitter feed, and he was like fed up for it. Oh, of course. I mean, if you're not with a camera, yes. Yes, exactly. I think that if you have like a big portion of food every single time, just like these mukbangers do, you'll still get you'll still get a really bad health. And I think that's why they're just getting a little bit mental. But I get it. I mean, I get it. If you go to the social blade of these dudes, you will see how much they're earning. For instance, Nikocado Avocado supposedly for every single, I think he had like 3 channels already. So he is earning about maybe 20 to 30 grand a month. Yeah, of course. I think everyone prefers a normal portion. What do you think, Nicholas?
I'm sorry, I'm the antimatter to this conversation. keep on going, guys. You guys are having fun.
Well, I'm answering to Demigoddess, but I was just like asking, what do you think about the portions of food? Do you think that you should eat like a big portion or a small portion of food?
Well, I love to eat, but I also like you can't eat too much or you'll get fat, right?
Exactly. Well, no, not exactly fat, but the things that you can, if you are eating bad food, like fast food, like lots of it every day, you'll get a bad health. That's for sure. I mean,
Definitely.
just yeah. I mean, I am like answering to Demigoddess to what she's saying. It's like, yeah, I don't get it either. I don't know if they are bulimic. I'm sorry if I just go into this like topic, but people that are eating a lot of food and they're not gaining weight, I do believe that they have some sort of disorder. And I'm not thinking about a normal one. Like I'm thinking about an eating disorder that they need to like get rid of the food And the only way to do it is by, you know. Hello, hello, Sephora. Sephora, yes. Hello. I love food, but I can eat a lot. My tummy, yeah. I mean, I can eat a lot, but I shouldn't be eating too much. um, yeah, yeah. It's what you're saying. It's what you're saying. It's true. Hello, hi. How are you tonight? So we were talking about, right now we moved to the mukbang community about eating as much as you can for views and for money. I'm guessing that if you had the opportunity to show everyone that you're eating on camera and you will receive $1,000, would you do that? Would you sit down in front of a camera, eat all of the food that you have in the table, so you can receive $1,000?
If you take the cameras out of the equation, I would do it. But the thing about it is that there would be that videotape of me doing that for the rest of my life, right?
Exactly. But the camera has to be there.
Not this month, but there are months in my life where I may have done that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Sephora here is that it's saying that loves to eat. Okay. If I could, I would love to be able not to get full because I love tasty food. Well, I think everyone would like to do that, like have a really quick metabolism, just eat everything that you can and get away with it. But I think for everyone, at least if you ask me that I'm going closer to my 40s, it's difficult to eat something that you really enjoy and not to gain any weight. So, um, I'm too shy. Well, just a personal experience. I shouldn't be doing this because I'm also shy, but I'm forcing myself because I need to do this, right? And why? And this is like an experience for me, and I'm telling you this as well. Um, when you want to do something good and you want to like transmit something, like you want to teach someone or like an audience something, you want to teach something that it's good, not something that it's bad. I was passing through a really hard time in my life, and I said to myself I wanted to do something good. So the first thought that I had was what I was doing at the moment. I was a single mother having a full-time job, but I wanted to find um, a part-time job. So I started to check on earning money online, and I did. So that's why my first videos in this YouTube channel, it's about that. It's about earning money online. But I was also trying to get different kind of like um, commentaries about different things that are happening in the YouTube community and parenting skills as well. Oh wow, that's great. I mean, I wish I could have a fast metabolism, but no, I have a slow one. Well, I think it's good. I think it's good. You wouldn't like to go closer to your 40s, getting a slow metabolism and being able to eat as much as you can. You know, that will be bad. That will definitely be bad. So
You'll live longer if you stay leaner too.
true. That's true. That's true.
You were talking about the importance of family before and passing down values. And I think that a big part of that is having parents and grandparents that live long enough to be able to make an impact in your life.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what happens in the Latin American culture. We have like people are lasting longer. But for us, fast food movement came around the 80s and the 90s. So we don't our old generation doesn't count as eating that much of a fast food, but now my generation is starting to have lots of problems. Like we are having more like heart diseases and diabetes and problems like regarding to fast food. Like it's terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be similar there as it is here. Apparently, here, this is the first generation where we'll live shorter lives than our parents.
Yeah, but I think we are just starting with what you already have as a problem, which is like morbidly obese people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're just starting with that, and that's going to get even worse. Okay, okay.
Lasagna is delicious.
Lasagna, it's really good.
My aunt makes this lasagna that is so good with cottage cheese and various other cheeses and meat and things like that. And it's so tasty. And to the point where I grew up with that as lasagna. And
Mm-mm.
anytime that I tried to get lasagna at like a restaurant or some other place,
It
I
was
was always,
completely different.
yeah, and I was very disappointed. Yeah, why isn't this good lasagna?
It's how it's homemade. You
That's right.
know,
Yeah.
homemade cannot beat anything else. I mean, homemade it's just the best.
Oh, it's
Even though it's
delicious. Yeah.
yeah, even if it's not the same thing, definitely. Yeah. Lasagna it's really like a hard work. Like you need to do like in different steps. Like if you ask me, I have to do like the white sauce and then um, the noodles on one side, and then the meat has to be done before so it will cool as well as the sauce. And then when you have everything set and done, then you can start like putting it together and then putting it in the oven, and then leave it there for like 1 hour. So instead of what Nicola said, in my case, lasagna has to do with the bechamel. I don't know if it's translated correctly. I'm so sorry, but it's like um, a white sauce with mozzarella and parmesan and just like the um, normal like meat sauce. And yeah, that's it. It's like layers and layers and layers, like noodles and the beef sauce and the white sauce and the cheese, and again the noodles, and then that's how we build the lasagna. We do like 2 or 3 pieces of like a big tower of lasagna, and then we put it like in the oven.
Why don't you come in and chat with us, Demi? You can
Um,
chat with us through the chat if you want, but or
yeah,
you could come
I
in.
yeah we I don't know that. I mean, if you have StreamYard, you can just get it by the link that
That's
I
right. Yeah,
posted.
you don't have to download anything
Yeah,
for
you
this
don't have to down.
program.
Yes, exactly. I'm just going to let me. I'm so sorry. I'm just so slow with this. I'm just getting used to it. So sorry. I'm just going to put it again here.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that white sauce. I'm thinking maybe it means something like
Mm.
Alfredo sauce or something, but
It,
here I think generally it would be tomato sauce and beef and noodles and
it's
cheese.
it's also called bechamel. It's called
Vegemite, eh?
yeah. It's white sauce or bechamel, but I don't know how to translate
Vegemite. Oh, interesting. Okay.
that. Oh, okay.
It's a brand name, right? That's the name of the
hmm
brand. Okay.
Yeah, it's a cheesy white sauce. Exactly.
Okay, I've never
Oh,
seen that before. Interesting.
it's a really tasty one. Let me tell you, it's not exactly like Alfredo, because Alfredo will have like like a mixture of like a lot of cheese, but in here it's like not that much of a cheese, but it's more like butter and cornstarch and milk and onions, and then you leave it there, like you cook it and then you leave it there. It's really tasty. So
It does sound tasty.
yeah. Demi, don't worry about it. If you can later on. Oh, hey, hi, Richard. If you can later on, I am going to try and do like 2 or 3 lives every week, so we can try and chat and do like a really nice community of people. Good night, Richard. How are you? Let me see. Yes, exactly. I have the same thing about the lasagna. We are doing like the traditional way. I know Nicholas has just mentioned that he do it. Well, he had like a different way of doing it. Oh, thank you, Richard. You're so kind. We were just talking about different subjects here. We're just talking about food, the YouTube community, and feminist movement, and then we moved. Also, we talked about like exotic foods and China and Chinese and languages. We just went around. Thank you, Richard. Good night. Yes, yes. Nicholas, you were mentioning that you were mentioning about the lasagna that you liked, about the how it's been prepared. That's why it's a little bit different of how we were saying it is.
Yeah, I've never made it myself, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have this Vegemite stuff in it, and I think it has tomato sauce.
No, that's for the beef sauce, I think. Yeah, that's for the beef sauce. That's when you put the tomato sauce. Well, that's in my case. I don't know how it's for them, but for me, I just put like the tomato sauce with the beef, and it will get cooked with onions and peppers. And there is this leaf that we also use.
I totally believe you that your recipe is delicious, but yeah, that's I've never had that before.
I know. That's why. But it's a good thing to have different types of lasagnas, because we can share. We can share the recipes.
That would be amazing, like a potluck of lasagna, a lasagna night of potluck. That would be
It
great.
would be like, this one is being made by you, this one is made by Demi, this one is made by me, and we have everything is there. It's like everyone's like piece of advice in the lasagna, you know.
You each have to eat a third of each lasagna.
Mm-mm. Yes, I do agree with Demi. That's with the beef. Tomatoes is in the beef. Exactly. Mm-mm. Yes, I prepare it like that, but you have different ways of doing it. I have seen like the vegetable lasagna, which is also good, and then you have to know how to prepare it, else you will just get it wrong. There is also the raw lasagna, when you don't have to cook it, but you only have to like present it in like fashionable way, but it's lasagna. So yep, a lasagna party. We'll have like different recipes. We'll have everything lined up. It'll be nice. Like it will be a nice thing to just share recipes. I think so, but I think what will be different, it will be in the cheese. And that will make a difference. And the beef. And how, I mean, if you use, are you using bay leaves in the beef sauce, by the way? Because we use bay leaves to cook the pasta and to cook the beef.
I think so, but I don't actually know the recipe that well. I could ask for it, but I've never made it myself.
Well, you should ask for it. Because yes, Demi's right, because she's saying that we will have actually the same type of lasagna. The one that will be different is the one that you can prepare, or the one that you can find the recipe for.
Well, the secret to mine is that it has probably more cheese in it than most recipes. Excuse me.
Well, that would be good.
So any men at the table will probably prefer my lasagna, but that's a different story.
Well, then you will have to make a lot more, so we can also share with. You can also share with us. You know, I mean, I'm guessing that it depends on how you prepare it, but for now, what I can see is, and I agree with Demi, both of us will have like almost the same lasagna, almost. So you will have the different ones. So you will have to like stand up and show us the recipe. Yes, of course, our cheese will be different because we have different kind of mozzarella and we have a different kind of parmesan. So, and I'm guessing that I mean, my lasagna will be a blend one because it won't have like an enough taste. And why am I saying this? Because the cheese in here it's more fresh, so it doesn't save the flavor. So that's how it is here. And it's funny because I think it was the last live stream that I posted here. A guy or a girl entered and was asking me about cheese, like what kind of cheese do we have here? So I was telling that person that it was fresh cheese. We do have the different types of cheese, like the ones that are strong taste or strong smell, but we tend to go to the fresh one because it doesn't have like a real hard taste or hard smell, and it's more salty for us, and we like that. We like in our soups or in our rice and with our beans, etc. Yes, exactly. Local cheese as well. Yes, it's like soft, and then or they're like hard ones, but they're not smelly ones. So, but if you ask me like the special ones, like the elemental or those rare names on cheese, then I'll just say I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about that. I don't I don't tend to go. I'm guessing that they will be tasting a lot better, but they're expensive here as well. Yes, but there's like this special type of meat. For instance, I think it's called the cured one, the one that it's been placed with salt and it's been like cured for a couple of days. That also tastes good. Yeah, yeah. I also go to my local butchers. I think we have something coming there as well. When I have to like sometimes cook for my family, I like to like just go and get fresh meat and just do something like from scratch. I do enjoy it. Like yes, we also tend to go like out and have something like to go, but it's better to have something fresh. Oh, by the way, Demi, where are you from? Because Nicholas is from Canada. I am from Ecuador. So we have like maybe different time zones. So I'm really curious about where are you from?
By the way, I'm gonna call it a night right away.
yeah, I think I'm just going to do the same. I just want to like state something, just like maybe try to get Demi into the conversation. Maybe we can get it tomorrow as well. Um, yeah, but it's late for you as well, right? Oh wow, yeah, it's early. It's earlier there. It's like morning where Demi is.
She's the wife of Beth.
Yes, she is. She's really like away from us, so it's
No,
earlier
no,
there.
no. The wife of Beth. Did you ever read the Canterbury Tales? We were talking about
Uh-huh.
old writing
Yes.
earlier. There's the wife
Mm-hmm.
of Beth,
Yes.
and
Oh,
Demi is
okay.
married, and she's from Bath. She's the wife of Bath.
Well, you see, everything happens for a reason. I think we have to talk about that subject. Maybe Demi wasn't here, but um. So okay, Demi, it's around past midnight here, and I think we're going to call off the stream. I am really grateful for everyone that has been here in the live stream. Um, as I told Nicholas, and I'm telling you, please keep in touch. I would like to like keep on doing streams and just talk about different subjects. I'm just trying to like try to meet more people and try to do like a really nice community. And wow, it's also really early in the morning for you. Okay, just try to have some rest. I don't know if it's like um, about time for you to go to work, or it's about time for you to like start doing your stuff there. I'm so grateful for you to be here in the live stream. Thank you, Nicholas, again for telling me about StreamYard. I'm really grateful because at least I can have a better way to have a live stream, and I really hope to
I'm
get.
so
Uh huh.
I'm so pleased to be able to speak with you rather than just typing in the chat.
I know. That's why I wanted to try the StreamYard. Um, and it's better. I think it's better just to be able to talk. So hopefully we will have Demi next time, so we can also have a bigger conversation and we can still talk about lasagnas and different recipes. Um, okay, work is at 9 for me. That's what Demi said. Okay. So you still have some time. For me, it's also I need to like get up like around 6 a.m. or it depends on my it depends on my child. Maybe he can get up like in an hour, so I will have to take care of him and give him his food, so I won't be sleeping too much. But anyways, oh, she's a dog trainer. Great. Talking about um, dogs and cats as well. We also talk like really sad things about dogs and cats. But anyways, thank
Oh,
you so
you have
much.
to leave it on that
Yes,
note, eh?
right? Yes, exactly. You see, everything is connected. Everything is connected. Everything happens for a reason. We already talked about that subject too. Crazy. Um, so okay, as I said, thank you to both of you, and thank you. Well, I don't think there is anyone else in the chat, but thank you, and I hope to get this live again with you guys. So if you catch me live, then just jump right in. So I talk to you guys when I can. Good night, Nicholas, and good morning to Demi.
Good night, guys.
Good night.